Hello. I'd like to call to order this Berwick Select Board meeting to review budgets. Everybody's here except for Mike, and let's stand for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
There's no public to make a public comment, so first public comment is closed.
Second public comment?
Yeah, well, we'll get to that after we do the final budget review. So, what is left to review? We're just looking at the final totals.
Couple follow-ups. I sent some further information. I had a request for 7% for 2 library employees. I
Oh, I saw that, yeah.
provided, sorry, I didn't print it out.
I think I did.
What's that going to cost? You don't remember? off the top of
Not
your
a,
head?
it's not a significant difference on the budget.
Yeah, we'd be going from the 6% we had talked about up to
Yeah, they
7%,
did
basically.
a study and they're way under, right there.
Right.
You want to see it? That's what he sent out about the library.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with that.
Me neither.
Just some further updates. So we'll make an adjustment. So that'll be a minor adjustment to the library budget. Road projects was increased. So 250,000 will come from taxpayer, and then the rest, 550. Is that math work out?
That's from the undesignated fund.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah,
So-
550 will come from a designated
What's the
fund.
total on roads?
800,000.
That's good. We're getting towards $1 million.
We're getting there.
That's it.
Yeah.
Our goal of going up next year.
So that, it's a 1.33% difference. And depending on what our revenues are, depending on school funding, Lisa and I will be submitting that amendment we discussed about being able to use undesignated fund balance to further offset our tax levy. So that is coming next meeting or so. BCM budget was adjusted to reflect the BCM director at $29 an hour and the assistant director at $23, and an increase for mileage. Sorry, I'm not going in any order. You want me to slow down?
No, you
No,
won't.
no, no.
you're
Go
fine.
ahead.
Emergency management was increased to $6,000 for this year to make the total for $10,000. So now we have $10,000 in that budget. Just to go over, I have a pretty conservative one on one of the last pages. Is just that the capital improvements. It's 1,182,060. Just have a pretty conservative estimate of where we think, or where I think the undesignated fund balance spendable is about 1.5 million. Again, I think that's a conservative number.
So spending what we have allotted for here, then based on your estimates, we'd still have about 400,000 in reserve, in excess of the reserve we needed.
Correct.
Right.
Okay. Now here's a question: we have the non-spendable reserve. What is the purpose of the non-spendable reserve? Like at any point, is it never to be spent ever?
I think it's the rainy day fund, know. In the,
So like in the most extreme of emergencies.
It is, I believe it's set up so that if, for some reason we had no revenues coming in at all,
Yeah.
or very restricted revenues, would have at least a month's worth
Worth of
of
money.
money to pay bills.
Yeah.
No, assuming that we wouldn't have to spend it all in that 1 month.
Yeah.
And I believe that's not a state thing, is it? Or is that? Did I thought that was something that the town put in back in, geez,
The Ice Age.
12 years or so ago, I think, maybe. was the first time I remember seeing that, and it was before we got back on. So it's always been there for the last 9 years. I know that.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's a law, but
No, I don't know.
It's recommended by MMA to do 3 months. I don't know if it's, it might be, I don't think it's a law, but it's recommended to do 3 months, but the town of Berwick's policy says 12.5% for, in the event that we don't have revenues coming in, which, I mean, we saw during even COVID that didn't happen, so.
Yeah, I believe that is the town ordinance that was voted on. I'm not, like I said, it about 12 years ago or so that I first remember seeing it show up. And that was shortly after the 2008, meltdown. So there were times that we didn't have much money coming in.
That's very reasonable thinking. Anything else to highlight in terms of changes?
I believe that covers most of it.
You also got us more information on the
Visiting nurses?
yes, the hospice care stuff. They were looking for essentially a subscription payment. I don't feel that strongly, but
I do have one comment. Where'd you get the number for the county tax?
Oh, it's an estimate. Do you have a better number?
I mean, I'm not telling you what to do or anything, but you might want to go up just a little bit.
Okay.
300,000 is a nice round number.
It's just a normal plug-in, but I think we have a better source here.
Yeah, we always guesstimate on those. That in the school is always a guess.
Yeah, we put in 4% for the county.
Yeah, I think it's going
Just
to come
an
in at
estimate.
4.1 this year. It's going to come in at 4.1.
4.1, okay.
At least that's what the projected. We don't have a final one yet
Sure.
either, but
I
I might
think,
have happened to look at Berwick before I came down. And
oh, wonderful. Cool. Yeah, we'll update that. And there's,
it's not much difference.
oh, good estimate. I think the school might be, again, it's a conservative amount, just based off of based on the estimated revenue. So that's why that's the estimate. But we'll hear more accurate numbers as they finish their budget process.
When do they done their budget?
I don't think they're that far behind ours. So I imagine in the next few weeks to a
You
month.
don't hear anything, what kind of increase they're gonna give us?
I heard that they're attempting as much as possible to keep their budget flat as much as possible, but they're losing revenue. So even by keeping their budget flat, it's still going to reflect it.
Didn't they lose like $1 million something?
think
from the
it's-
state?
When I talked to Dwayne, he said there's $2 million
$2 million.
From where?
just from state
They lost.
different
Right.
revenue sharing, because our valuations in all three towns went up significantly.
So as that valuation goes up, that money goes
The
down.
state kicks down less.
Yeah.
until the state eventually raises the bar again at some point, hopefully in the near future. But don't count on them working any faster.
Well, it took them decades to get to the 55% that we
Yeah.
voted in decades ago.
Right. Catch up.
That was one of the most irritating things about being a legislator, is hearing all the excuses of why
Takes
they
so
could never
long.
get there.
Yeah.
They just didn't want to tax people all at once, and they didn't want to be the bad guys. Nobody ever wants to be the bad guys.
Right.
Why are we leasing the police cruisers?
I believe that's something that Steve put into place, and I think it's worked well for the department, just
A
to,
lot of departments do.
It's lease purchase.
Yeah, lease to purchase. We end up with the vehicle
Oh,
at
it's a
the
lease
end.
purchase.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
it just seems to work well to kind of hit the point before we start doing all that maintenance to trade them in and make sure all the cars stay on the roads and not have to pay absorbent maintenance fees.
Oh, yeah, if it's a lease purchase, yeah, if it was just a lease, would be just throwing
Right,
money
yeah,
away.
no.
But that's good.
Does anybody feel strongly about paying the subscription for the hospice services?
I think we should.
It's 6,600, something like that.
Yep.
Look at the amount of stuff they, you know, they're 2,500 visits in the course of a year, right? Well,
Yeah,
I think that
6% went to Medicaid patients.
I don't know if I'd recommend the whole 6,000, but I think we do a partial payment. 6,000. I think 6,000 is quite a bit.
I mean, it is. Yeah, it's.
what are other towns paying?
I think that the variations of 0 to I don't know who's even paying the full request.
Yeah, they originally requested it was based on our population and, what was it, 80 cents per resident or something
Yeah, it
like
was something
that.
like that. It was a
Is
percentage.
how they figured it out. No, I think they do a lot for the people in Berwick.
Oh, they do a lot. Especially when you got someone dying in your house and they come
Oh,
over,
that-
you
that's
really
saying-
realize $6,000 is well worth it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
So, whatever.
yeah.
and we have 40% of our town right now, before the influx
Elderly?
is elderly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to make it a round number, you could say 5.
That'd be okay with 5.
No?
I won't stand in the way of progress.
And the other one that, we had the request one was from the food bank, the
Yeah,
Good
the
Shepherd's.
shelter.
Yeah, and I think it was Sharon told me that most of the Berwick residents actually use the Somersworth
Yeah.
food bank.
Yeah, that's what I had heard
No.
too. So yeah, most of their their population, at least with the Alfred, is coming from northern, like Sanford,
Yeah,
Waterboro.
we're talking about the York County Food Bank.
Right,
Yeah,
which is in Alfred.
Right, right.
and
So-
we have the Summersworth one, and we have North Berwick.
Right, but Alfred is asking us for money, and I think
Yeah.
that most of our residents
Exactly.
don't use it.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly. That's what I'm saying. Is like you go to North Berwick, you go to Summersworth,
Right,
before you go all the way to Alfred. You're
right.
not going to go to the Sanford Food Bank when there's already 2, less than 20 minutes away.
Right.
So
Have we ever given to them before, or is this a new request?
I think it's a new.
I don't remember it before.
not the North Berwick one wants to come in and ask.
We haven't given it, I don't think we've given anything to anyone, I've been here in 2019.
Right.
What about Coast? Do we do Coast?
Yeah,
Oh, we
well,
do Coast.
Coast, the Shipyard Association.
Yeah, I was just trying to think of that list
Tho-
that we had.
Right, those are the historic ones that we've been given to for decades
Yeah, but
now.
as far as the nonprofits, I don't recall us giving
Yeah.
anything to any organization.
Like I said, I don't have a problem with the giving $5,000 to the visiting nurses. As far as the food bank, is they were asking for what, a little over $1,000,
$1,500.
$1,500.
And they said something like 5 or 7 of our residents made it over there this year.
Yeah,
Well, they're members.
They're members.
The members, so they can go
Okay.
more than once.
right. But, yeah, I'm willing to settle for that. As is.
It's our own food bank for that.
Yeah.
Any other budget items?
I think that covers it.
Any questions for James or Lisa regarding the budget as is?
Did we end up putting a new police officer in?
No.
We did not, we said to wait, right?
Right.
Yeah, that's what I thought, okay.
So, okay.
Just to say, we finalize it here is, we start doing the final readouts and stuff next week.
Yep, tomorrow, Patty, Lisa, and I will meet and we'll put the warrant, or start putting the warrant together and it'll be ready for Tuesday. At that point,
We meet Monday night and Tuesday night. Right?
sorry.
Meeting, oh, yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, the joint meeting.
I can't be at that, but it's okay. I'll watch it.
All right. Yeah, so next week we're going to spend 40 minutes reading every article, and that ought to be fun. And
Bring some water.
that's not a bad idea.
Tea.
Yes, so second public comment?
I'll just, not public comment, but
Yeah.
town manager report.
Sure, go ahead. Throw it in there.
Just want to give an update on the water and just wanted to apologize to the folks that have lost water pressure again. You know, I don't take it lightly, and I know that when I turn the water on, when I'm at home and the water comes on, I just can't imagine how inconvenient it is to not have water for the past few days. I do have some good news, and what happened was a blower from one of our filters went down. That piece was fixed and shipped back, and I heard this afternoon the plant's back and operating with both filters, so the pressure may take a day or so to come back, but we're heading in the right direction. I know the water operators have been working literally around the clock to keep the water tank level and pressure up as high as possible. I mean, literally pulling all-nighters to run off of one filter to keep it going. And Maine Water's are already been a help with helping with customer service. And there is a new notification system that will be in everyone's mailbox. There's an intro letter from Maine Water that should be hitting people's mailboxes either today or soon. And there's a way, they've requested to, I think in the mailer, the template says your number is blank, and if this is not your number, update us. And that will be the way that they can send, with our wave alerts, the way we can send notices, kind of blanket the whole town with notices, they can just send, people that are in the database. So it'll be more centralized.
Well, they had water, right? I mean, they had water, just not a lot of pressure, right?
In the neighborhoods that are closest to the standpipe, there just isn't enough gravity. So when our standpipe is at less than 60% capacity,
Right.
that's when pressure starts dropping off pretty significantly, pretty
Some
quickly.
people didn't have any pressure.
Or just a trickle, or for extended period of time too, for 4 days. So.
Is there a backup system for this?
So that's a great question. Is that Maine Water is so they've just started taking over operations, and actually our interim designated operator Joe, who I can't speak highly enough, he worked for maybe 10 or 15 hours a week at the water plant, and really stepped up for us in a time where we really needed him. He's actually been hired full-time for Maine Water to work for the town of Berwick. So this was actually, Monday was his first week working full-time for Maine Water. So to have Joe there full-time and the support of Maine Water, Mike Cummins, the vice president, he was at the plant, and they're going to take a good look at the water plant and start, looking at duplications and making sure that we're not like this again. This is the second time where a piece where if we just had the replacement on hand, we wouldn't have any issues.
Effect.
Yeah. And Mike will be He'll do his first biannual update, the second meeting in April.
So I can't remember if you mentioned this in an email or in the last meeting that the pilot test came back good.
Oh, absolutely.
So that we are on track for the upgrades to the water plant to
Yep.
start construction this year.
I think if construction starts, it'll probably be end, just with all the lead times, everything start. But if not, end of this year, the beginning of 2024.
Be online by the end of next year.
And it's still online for
End of
end of
24.
2024, yep.
Yep.
So,
Main Water will oversee that construction?
yep, Main Water will, yep. And they have experience.
I think it's nice to go out and see 2 or 3 Main Water trucks around town,
Yeah.
painting hydrants. It's like beautiful.
Yeah.
It's just good.
And they have a 24/7 phone line and just have more people on call, and they're super responsive to. I've been CC'd on some of the correspondence for customer service, and yeah, I just feel bad. I mean, they knew what they were signing up for, but it's still, feel bad. One of our components broke one of the first months they've worked with us, but like I said, they knew what they were signing up for.
That's what
and
they signed up for.
Yeah.
That's what they do.
that's,
Yeah.
yeah.
Felt bad for you the
Thank
first month of
goodness.
your job here, but that's what you signed up for.
Yes, sir. And the last thing, I just have scheduled a joint planning board, select board, and vision board meeting for March 13th, and just it's important to go over a few things. I think the timing works out to have a meeting then to go over a few things, and talk through a few things.
Okay. Just want to bring up one more thing. Because of the storm, everything that was planned for Tuesday got moved to Wednesday, so I couldn't make it. But maybe publicly we should say, how did the memorial dedication go?
Good. That was good.
Yeah.
I saw the video. It was very nice.
Yeah.
Tom was there, spoke. James, yeah.
The memorial is stunning.
It's
Yeah,
unbelievable.
it's
Yeah.
very nice.
And it's out front of the fire station, so anybody at any time can,
Right.
any town resident can swing by and take a look at it.
Oh, yeah, it's right there, and I drive up by the police and fire up front, yeah. I know, it really is
It's very nice.
stunning.
Yeah.
A good word to put it. It's good.
Good.
2 years, it took 2 years, right?
Yeah. To get everything all set because of the COVID and everything. They had
It's just
trouble with the
amazing.
supplies last
Wonder how
year.
much time they spent on that, making that.
Mm.
Do you know where the granite came from?
I heard some local contractors, I
No.
believe.
Where'd they mine the granite?
Yeah, I don't know.
Probably Rock of Ages has black granite.
Oh, I have no idea.
Probably Rock of Ages, I bet.
Anything else?
That covers what I have. See you Tuesday.
That's
All right.
it?
Well, see you Monday.
See you Monday.
Jeez, I'm all psyched up for this year now.
Yeah. So
Ready for a good
I'll
argument.
end the second public comment, and I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second it.
All right.
All those in favor?
Have a good evening, everybody.
Yes. Good night.
Good night, Lisa.
You're with-